The Polestar 3 is here, let's check it out. Welcome back to the channel. Dan here from Northern EV. So Polestar is following up their Polestar 2 with none other than the SUV Polestar 3. It made its world premiere on October 12th, 2022, which was some time ago. Now Polestar's identity design evolves with its high-end large luxury EV with a strong individual brand character, and the second entry, Polestar's identity is taking shape, which honestly I quite like. They have an ambitious future as well, as they plan on releasing a car every year over the next 3 years, which will be the aptly named Polestar 4, 5, and 6. But for now, let's check out the Polestar 3. Now it's not available for driving yet, it's not released altogether, can't even give it for a test drive yet. So this is a first impressions look at it while it was showcased at the Canadian International AutoShow in Toronto. Before I dive into the Polestar, why don't you take a second and subscribe? It really helps the channel grow so you get better content. So let's first look at some specs that everyone cares about. Now, first and foremost is probably the pricing. The launch edition starts at just under $79,000 US or 99,000 Canadian. Yes, it's a bit pricey. And this is your basic model. There are a few upgrade options to choose from, such as the upgraded performance pack. You have Napa leather upgrades, different wheel selection, as well as you can choose from the level of autonomy. Now, if you want a fully loaded maxed out Polestar 3, you are looking at 103,000 US or 120,000 Canadian. In terms of range, the long range will get you 315 miles, while if you add the performance pack, it will drop down to 279 miles. Long range will do 0 to 60 in 4.9, while the performance model will lower that figure just a bit to 4.6, which kind of makes it hardly noticeable, but there are a few suspension and under hood upgrades with that performance package. So at last year's auto show, Polestar had their 2 and it was locked, so you couldn't really get into it, so you couldn't have a good feel for the inside of that car. And I've seen a couple of them driving on the road, but I don't hear a lot of feedback from owners. Like, it's hard to see what's good, what they don't like, what they feel like. So I really have a blank slate for Polestar, but I find their cars look really nice. And I was excited when at the 2024 Auto Show, they had not only had the 2, but the new 3, and you can go into it and explore it and see what it's all about. All right, so here we are at the Polestar booth at the Canadian International Auto Show. And first off is we see the Polestar 3. Now, it looks gorgeous. Obviously, these are ideal conditions. The car is spotless. We have a white floor, white backdrop, and the white color paint is pristine. Looks amazing. The first thing you notice on the exterior is the headlights. They just scream at you. The shape of it is unique and really eye-catching. Then we have the bottom lip with the black. It really adds a little bit of definition to the front grille. Now on the sides, we have obviously the flush door handles will actually extend when the driver approaches the car, which is pretty nice. I like that method a lot better than the pivot. And moving on to the rear, you have the trademark Polestar rear light bar. On the front hood, you'll notice what looks like an air vent. What this actually is kind of like a spoiler for the front of your car. It's aerodynamic, meant to keep your car lowered to the ground, much like a rear spoiler, which is pretty cool. I've never seen that in any other car. So we're going to get a quick look at the frunk. Now this one's not, I've seen a lot worse with like basically no frunk. At least there's some sort of storage options here. Not the best, but it's definitely not the worst either. So decent amount of storage, you can put a few things in there. Polestar 3 is a 111 kilowatt battery pack. These rims are beautiful. You can see the calipers with Swedish gold. So this is the performance pack model. We're looking at electric power steering, a brake-by-wire system with Brembo performance brakes, active air suspension, and dual wishbone front suspension, as well as integrated like rear suspension. Moving on to the liftgate, there's also an option for a foot sensor, but once you open up, there's actually a lot of room back there. So moving on to the interior, I find this is where the Polestar 3 shines. It has that minimalistic look, but still has a lot of character to it with some design elements. The seats are the white Napa leather upgrade. They feel really nice and look spectacular. and look really sharp as well. Of course, we have a large center screen. It's about 14.5 inches, but you also have a small screen display on your steering wheel for some mostly likely driving information. Where the design really ties together is these little chrome accents around the steering wheel, around the vents. Kind of just adds a very luxurious feel, but not looking like too cliche luxurious, if you know what I mean. The cabin has a really seamless feel to it in terms of going from the doors to the dash. It really feels like you're immersed in the cabin. We have a laser-edged white ambient light strip, which you couldn't really tell here, but apparently it does have that. The center console is clean. You only have a dial knob for your shifter, as well as piano black. I don't mind piano black. I don't know why people are still doing piano black. It's a fingerprint magnet. I think after day 2 of the auto show, it was just littered with fingerprints. All right, so that concludes my first impressions look at the Polestar 3. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more coverage of the Polestar 3. When they become available for test drives, I hope to take one out and get a more hands-on experience with the Polestar 3. Again, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe. Like I said before, if you subscribe, it helps the channel grow. You get better content, so everyone wins. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss videos, which I release about every week or so. So that being said, I'll see you next week. In the meantime, drive safe and drive electric.